Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So, I found this book in a bookshop in town when I had a day off and I was browsing, and I thought we might like it, so I picked it up. It's from the Lonely Planet company, which I have loads of this stuff. I got loads of phrase books and loads of guidebooks. But this isn't a guidebook of the USA, it's a best road trips of the USA. It's not something that I've seen much of. I certainly don't think they do them for very many countries, and it says 51 routes with maps. So obviously we like our maps on this ASMR channel. So we've got quite a lot of different places to cover. I thought we'd just look at a couple today. So we could, for example, look at New England, Rocky Mountains, the Pacific Northwest. We'll just see where it takes us randomly and have a little look. Ooh, I've just opened it on the Great Lakes. Let's have a look at that, shall we? So, I think we're aware that the Great Lakes are between Canada and the northern part of the USA. Michigan State, which is also up here, curiously. Wisconsin are washed by the waters of Lake Michigan and Lake Superior. This is the international boundary with the USA and Canada. You can see Ontario here. And so we've got the Great Lakes. The Midwest is much more than a flat, endless field. Funny, because I always thought of it as a flat, endless field. Intrepid road trippers find that out as soon as they set wheels on Redcliffe HWY 61. What do you guys say is a shorthand for that? Is that Highway 61? In northern Minnesota, or on the dune-backed thoroughfares of western Michigan, or on the river road twisting along the Big Muddy. The Great Lakes are huge, so I hear, like you can't see the other bank, so it looks like a sea, doesn't it? Like inland seas, you know. Dairy farms and orchards blanket the region, meaning fresh pie and ice cream await trip takers. Sign me up. Big cities such as Chicago and Minneapolis provide hefty doses of culture and entertainment. And when does the Midwest flatten out? There's always the world's largest six-pack to revive imaginations. I don't know what they're talking about there. So you could do Michigan's Gold Coast. This would take 4 days and is great for nature and wine. Now, I'm not a wine drinker, actually, but I'm sure I could manage it. So it says best time to go July through October for pleasant weather and orchard harvests. I imagine it's really, really cold this far north in the winter. While Michigan's shore has been a holiday spot for over a century, it still surprises. The Caribbean blue water, and we can see here Michigan Traverse City. How pretty is that? Which has artisan food shops selling local wine, ciders and produce. The West Coast surfing vibe, the French-style cider house that pops up by the road. Ernest Hemingway used to spend summers in the northern reaches, and he never forgot it. Even after travelling the world, he once wrote that the best sky is in northern Michigan in the fall. So you'd start your journey in New Buffalo, and then you'd move on to Three Oaks and over into Round Barn Estate. You're not sticking to the shore for the first part. And then you go to, what's that, Fenville? Yeah. It may be a teeny farm town with a lone traffic light, but pie fanatics have been swarming here for decades. And then we go into Saugatuck and Douglas, and then to Holland. You don't have to cross the ocean for tulips, windmills and clogs. Michigan's Holland has the Hoel Kitschy package. To be honest, Holland is a little bit closer to me than Michigan's Holland. And then we go up the coast to Ludington State Park before heading on to Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. So there's a little bit of a detour. Ludington State Park and then the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. Look at that lovely lighthouse there. Big Sable Point Lighthouse, Ludington State Park in Michigan. Sable, is that the French word for sand? Oh no, le sable? I think it's le sable in French. Then you go on to Leyland. Little Leyland couldn't be any cuter. Grab a bite at a waterfront restaurant downtown and poke around atmospheric Fish Town with its weather-beaten shops. Ferries depart from here to the forest-cloaked Manitou Islands. Then Sutton's Bay. Then we head into Traverse City. Michigan's cherry capital is the largest city in the region. Outdoor adventures abound, and the superb food and art scenes are comparable to those of a much larger urban area. There's a place called Cherry Republic. Although touristy, it's a hoot to see all the products. Cherry ketchup, cherry dusted tortillas, cherry butter, cherry wine. You get the point. Cherry is one of my favourite flavours, actually. Horton Bay General Store is next. A detour to Beaver Island, then Petoskey and Mackinac Island. Mackinac City is the jumping off point to Mackinac Island. A petite charmer speckled with Victorian cottages and 18th century fortresses. Cars are banned and all travels by horse or bicycle, adding to the old time mood. This is a picture of Arch Rock, which is on Mackinac Island in Michigan. Okay, let's pick a completely different random one then. This one is in New Mexico. So this is high and low roads to Taos. How do you pronounce that, guys? The Miracle Church and Arts and Crafts in Chimayo. El Santuario de Chimayo, which is in New Mexico. Kick off in hip and historic Santa Fe, then rise from scrub and sandstone desert into ponderosa forests, snaking between the villages at the base of the 13,000-foot Sangre de Cristos until you reach the Taos Plateau. After checking out this little place that's lured artists, writers and hippies for the past century, drive south through the ruggedly sculpted Rio Grande Gorge with the river coursing alongside you. So you'd start in Santa Fe, which I've heard of, and then we go up to Chimayo, on to Córdoba, Truchas, Las Trampas, to Taos, but it looks then we're coming down to Dixon and maybe coming back, start and end in Santa Fe. So this would take us 4 days. It's good for history and culture, food and drink. The best time to come here would be June to March, when temperatures are not too hot. I'm useless in the heat, I gotta be honest. We've just had a heat wave here in Wales for a week, and my goodness, 34 degrees Celsius nearly killed me. I'm genuinely thinking about getting aircon. Apparently it's like a thing that people in the UK are now starting to get, because we didn't need it when I was growing up. Obviously, to an American that sounds absurd because you all have aircon, but in the UK we just have never needed it. But now, since COVID, every summer has had a week or two where it's been like 30-something degrees, and we like want to just live in an ice bath for the entire week. So Santa Fe, Chimayo. Tucked into this little village is the so-called Lord of America, El Santuario de Chimayo, holychimayo.us, one of the most important cultural sites in New Mexico. In 1816, this 2-towered adobe chapel was built over a spot of earth said to have miraculous healing properties. Even today, the faithful come to rub the tierra bendita, holy dirt, from a small pit inside the church on whatever hurts. Some mix it with water and drink it. The baked mud walls are lined with crutches left behind by those healed by the dirt. During Holy Week, about 30,000 pilgrims walk to Chimayo from Santa Fe, Albuquerque and beyond, in the largest Catholic pilgrimage in the US. The artwork in the Santuario is worth a trip on its own. Look at that. That's capture the gorge and mountains at once from Highway 68 near Taos. That's stunning, look at that. Gorges were created by glaciers melting the ice and then the water coming through, right? I think that's how they're formed. So, Córdoba. In Spain we have Córdoba, but it's with a B rather than a V. Down in the Rio Quemado Valley, this little town is best known for its unpainted, austere santos carvings, created by local masters such as Jorge López, José Dolores López, and Savinta López Ortiz, all members of the same artistic family. Stop and see their work at the Savinita López Ortiz shop, one of a few galleries in town. Cash or check only for this one. Truchas, literally trout. Rural New Mexico at its most sincere is showcased in truchas. Established originally by the Spaniards in the 18th century. Doesn't say anything about fishing though. And las trampas, which again means the trap, or the traps, which is a bit weird. Taos. Taos is a place undeniably dominated by the power of its landscape. 12,300 feet of often snow-capped peaks rise behind town, while a sage-speckled plateau unrolls to the west, before plunging 800 feet straight down into the Rio Grande Gorge. The sky can be a searing sapphire blue or an ominous parade of rumbling thunderheads, and then there are the sunsets. This is the Santa Fe ski resort near Santa Fe. One of the biggest winter draws to this part of New Mexico is the skiing and snowboarding, and Taos Ski Valley is the premier place to hit the slopes. Then on to Dixon. And there we are. Right, okay. Let's do something completely different again then. Pennsylvania. Dutch country. This one's another 3 to 4 days. Great for family wine history. Best time to go is less crowded in early spring or September. The Amish really do drive buggies and plough their fields by hand. In Dutch country, the pace is slower, and it's no costumed reenactment. For the most evocative Dutch country experience, go driving along the winding, narrow lanes between the throughways, past rolling green fields of alfalfa, asparagus and corn, past pungent working barnyards, and manicured lawns, waving to Amish families in buggies and straw-hatted teens on scooters. So this one, the end and the start, so we start in Lancaster, go out to Willow Street, take a detour to Pinnacle Overlook, which is on the river. It's too dark for me to read that long word in this room. Susquehanna River. Probably butchered the pronunciation. Then on to Strasbourg, Bird in Hand and Intercourse, which is the name of the next place. Giggle Giggle. Then Ephrata, Letitz, which is just outside Pennsylvania. Oh no, Pennsylvania is the state, isn't it? Yeah. And then over to Hershey. So, Lancaster, a good place to start is the walkable red brick historic district of Lancaster. Oh, pronounced Lancaster. Just off Penn Square. The Romanesque revival style Central Market, which is like a small version of Philadelphia's Reading or Reading Terminal Market, has all the regional gastronomic delicacies: fresh horseradish, whoopie pies, soft pretzels and sub-sandwiches stuffed with cured meats and dripping with oil. You'll find surprises too, such as Spanish and Middle Eastern foods. Plus, of course, the market is crowded with handicraft booths staffed by plain-dressed, bonneted Amish women. Then the detour is to Gettysburg. Oh, wow. So you can see the Gettysburg National Military Park Museum and Visitor Center. They did Gettysburg, didn't they, in The Office? I think I saw that episode. Then on to Willow Street and the Pinnacle Overlook. So high over Lake Aldred, a wide portion of the Susquehanna, don't know if I'm saying it right, river just up from a large dam, is this overlook with beautiful views and eagles and other raptors soaring overhead. Here we have a picture. This is Lake Aldred and the Pinnacle Overlook. That's fantastic, isn't it? How beautiful. Then you go over to Bird in Hand. The primary reason to make your way to this delightfully named Amish town, or Amish town, is the Bird in Hand Farmers Market, which is pretty much a one-stop shop of Dutch country highlights. There's fudge, quilts and crafts, and you can buy scapple, which is pork scraps mixed with cornmeal and wheat flour, shaped into a loaf and fried. Homemade jam and shoofy pie, a pie made of molasses or brown sugar sprinkled with a crumbly mix of brown sugar, flour and butter. Then on to Intercourse, named for the crossroads, not the act. Intercourse is a little more amenable to walking than Bird in Hand. The horse-drawn buggy rides on offer can also be fun. How much fun depends largely on your driver. Some Amish are strict, some liberal, and Mennonites are different again. All drivers strive to present Amish culture to the English, the Amish term for non-Amish, whether English or not, but some are more openly personal than others. Then Ephrata, one of the country's earliest religious communities, which was founded in 1732 by Conrad Beissel, an émigré escaping religious persecution in his native Germany. Beissel, like others throughout human history, dissatisfied with worldly ways and distractions. Difficult to imagine what these were in pre-digital age. Sought a mystical, personal relationship with God. At its peak there were close to 300 members, including 2 celibate orders of brothers and sisters, known collectively as the Solitary, who patterned their dress after Roman Catholic monks. The last of these passed away in 1813, as well as married households who were less all-in, if you will. Ooh, nice roller coaster. This is Hershey Park. Then Letitz, or Letitz. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I said it very funny. Like other towns in Pennsylvania Dutch country, Letitz, I'm going to say it that way, was founded by a religious community from Europe, in this case Moravians, from Czech Republic and Poland, who settled here from the 1740s. However, unlike Ephrata, Letitz was more outward-looking and integrated with the world beyond its historic centre. Many of its original handsome stone and wood buildings still line its streets today. And then on to Hershey, which is home to a collection of attractions that detail, hype, and of course hawk the many trappings of Milton Hershey's chocolate empire. The pièce de résistance is Hershey Park, an amusement park with more than 60 thrill rides, a zoo, and a water park, plus various performances and frequent firework displays. Don a hairnet and apron and punch in a few choices on a computer screen, and then voila. Watch your very own chocolate bar roll down a conveyor belt at Create Your Own Candy Bar attraction, part of Hershey's Chocolate World, a mock factory and massive candy store with overstimulating features such as singing characters and free chocolate galore. was fun. So we checked out a couple of different places, but there are so many. What a lovely book. I'm glad I picked this up. Do write a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed the video and tell me where we should go next. Where would you like to go? To the Rocky Mountains, the Great Plains, the Great Lakes. We've got some in Florida, we've got some in New York and Mid-Atlantic, New England, the Pacific Northwest, California. I think we looked at one of the ones from the Southwest today, but we can do more. Let me know what you'd like to see. And if you enjoyed the video, then do give it a little like for me. Leave that comment and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and don't miss any more videos of this book. And of course, if you love what I do already, then you might want to be one of those many people that have joined me on Patreon recently. Thank you so much to those who have and those that have done and been there for some time. Hello to everyone. Where you get extra videos every month and early access to every single video on this channel up to a week in advance, depending on how organised I'm being. Recently it's not been too bad actually. And you also can get to chat to me directly and just support the channel in allowing me to get these lovely books for us all to benefit from. So that's info for that. Patreon is below. But thanks so much for watching. I've got loads of other books, so we'll get through them now over the next couple of weeks. I think we're going to do this one at some point soon. It's an island, again from Lonely Planet. I found it in a second-hand bookshop for £1, and it's amazing, so we will take a look at that next, I think.